Yeah, hi friends, welcome to the channel. So in this video, I will be explaining some of the best practices while creating data raptors. Yeah. So, so this is the frequent last interview question also. What are the best practices we need to follow while creating data raptors? Yeah. So let's get started. So I just note down some of the best practices to follow while creating data raptors. Yeah. So the first best practice is create data raptor that will perform only one task. So don't overload your data raptor extracts or loads multiple operations. So for example, if your requirement is to extract only account information, then include only account object. Don't include contact and other objects. So in our application, some places you need account information and some other places you need contact information. So there is a possibility, right? In one single data raptor, we can extract both. So at the time, so even there is possibility, don't overload your data raptor with multiple objects here. So your data raptor should perform only one task at a time. So to respect the single responsibility principle, yeah, that this is one of the best practices. And another one is use relationship queries whenever possible to pull data. So to explain further on this, let us assume my requirement is I need to fetch contact information, and if contact is linked to account, I need account details also. So if this is your requirement, so so you can achieve this requirement in two ways. You can query first contact object. After that, you can query account object where filter. So account object where ID equal to contacts colon account ID. So you can do in this way also, but if you do here, you are querying two objects by using different steps here. But if you do in this way, so behind the scene there will be two queries, two SQL queries fired. So, but if our requirement is to get just contact information along with its parent account details, then instead of making one more object like this, you can fetch related account details in the mappings in the output. So here just fetch contact information, then in the output use a relationship notation, relationship fields. So if you want account name, so account ID. From here, remove ID and fetch what and all fields you want. I want name or some status or number of employees. So you can query related object fields in the extract JSON path. So this will reduce the additional SQL query in the backend. Okay, it's overall reduced your SQL governor limits also. So what is another best practices? Use relationship notation or queries whenever possible to pull data from other objects. So one more. So for extracting data from Salesforce, we have two types of data raptors, right? One turbo extract and another is extract. So you should know when to use which one. Yeah. So for this, there are two steps. If requirement requires reading data from multiple unrelated objects. So if our requirement requires reading data from multiple unrelated objects, then there is no option. You should go with the extract because a turbo extract will not support multiple objects. Yeah, if your requirement is read data from multiple unrelated objects, then always go with data raptor extract. But if our requirement is read one object and related fields from its parent object, then you can go with the turbo extract or extract again based on your requirement. So here my requirement is, let us assume I want to read contact first name, last name, and account name also. So this requirement you can achieve by using turbo extract. Yeah, yeah, use turbo extract whenever if you want to like reading data from child to parent objects, child to parent queries, child to parent queries, and you don't require additional complex mappings and formulas, then you can use the data raptor extract. But if you need complex output mappings and formulas, you need to transform data retrieved from Salesforce. So if you want you are this requirement, then even though you are reading, you are making child to parent queries, but you need to go with data raptor extract here because you need formulas, you need complex output mapping. So those requirements I mentioned here. If requirement requires reading data from multiple unrelated objects, then use extract. If requirement requires reading data from primary object and additional fields from parent object, then use turbo extract over extract. Just you want to read information, current object information, and some fields from parent object without complex output mapping, complex formulas, then you can go with turbo extract over extract. But if you need complex output and redefined data with formulas, you should go you should go with extract because turbo extract will not support formulas, complex output mapping. Yeah, this is one of the important step. So important best practice. Always don't use the extract. Check what is your requirement and proceed accordingly. Yeah. This is also use relationship notation in the extract JSON paths for parent as object fields instead of adding second as object. This is what I explained here. So instead of creating one more account object here, just extract the related fields from this object in the output mapping. Only child to parent relationship queries are supported by Data Raptors. Yeah, Data Raptors will support only single object and child to parent, only single object and child to parent, but parent to child, parent object and also it's a child record information, it will not support. For that, you need to make at least two queries. So this is one more important best practice. Try to keep the number of S objects to 3 or fewer. So let us assume in the extract, there is no restriction, right? I can use multiple objects. I can use this is one object, I can use another object. So there is no restriction, you can use multiple objects. First, but for best practices, you need to limit number of S objects, 3 or fewer. Don't include more than 3 objects here to increase performance at the server side. So keep your S objects fewer limit to 3. So try to keep number of S objects to 3 or fewer to improve performance on the server side. Yeah, this will applicable both for extract and load also. In load also, don't insert multiple objects more than 3 in a single data raptor load. Yeah. If you require data from multiple objects, try to create different data raptors and combine data. Yeah. So ensure that all filtering and sorting operations are based on index fields. So what you mean by this here is whenever you are querying records based on certain filter, that filter should be on indexed fields. So by default ID field is indexed field. Name field also indexed. So if you include queries filtering criteria on indexed fields, then your query will run faster. So this is related to database indexing concept. So no need to go in depth in that concept. Just remember, whenever you are including filters, make sure you include filters on indexed fields so that your query will run faster. So it will not scan entire your object. Yeah, this is one of the best practices. And use caching mechanism. Use caching to store frequently accessed. So if we are making frequent calls to access some data, then store that data in cache so that subsequent request will not hit to your Salesforce servers. So it will access from cache. So this is that requirement. This is that best practices. So all data raptor extract load supports caching. You see here caching. Suppose what you mean by here is I'm extracting contact account all these objects data. So if you want to store this data in the caching, just specify time to live in minutes and which type of cache you want to use. Yeah. So Salesforce will check if records are existed in cache, then it will not make one more server call. Yeah, this is one of the best practices. So in overall, you need to remember all these best practices to answer interview questions and also follow in your day-to-day work. Yeah, and this is the just your requirement is contact name and account name. In this case, simple turbo extract is enough. But if our requirement is like this, contact under contact, this is the contact name, and I want account node, all account details should come here. This kind of requirement you cannot achieve with turbo extract because here complex output is there, right? It's not a straightforward output, it's a complex. So in this case, you should use extract. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you got something valuable information from this video. Thanks for watching.